Counter-Strike has spawned many recognizable figures sporting the big green sniper, but few were as notorious as Maikelele, or as you know him, Maikelele.
Maikelele's position here though, Forrest down the pitch, gonna pick it up, Maikelele to follow, the bomb is dropped, he picks up the double kill, turns around, and he headshots him!
The flashy beatboxing opera started his career looking up to his cousin, who was captain of the Swedish national team in Quake. But unlike Benjamin, or his Quake alias Zerial, Mikael found his refuge in Counter-Strike. Before he was Maikelele, he went under the nickname XM. While many Swedish prodigies were snatched up by giants like Fnatic and NIP, XM bounced between smaller teams, grinding and learning in the local lands of Sweden. But when CSGO came around in 2013, XM found himself on Team Refuse, entering DreamHack Summer, his first big LAN experience. Team Refuse at the time had a bunch of players that you might recognize, but fell flat during the tournament itself, not managing to make it to playoffs, facing a devastating defeat at the hands of NIP, the Swedish powerhouse team that were single-handedly redefining esports in Counter-Strike, a team Mikael would love to be a part of. His performance, however, caught the eye of the next step up in his esports career, LGB Esports, a team filled to the brim with Swedish talents like Olofmeister, Dennis, and Krims. With an 8th place finish in DreamHack Winter the same year, once again losing to NIP, Mikael finally gained some notoriety. And even though LGB Esports' road to success wasn't flawless, he learned, got better, and with his newfound skill came a new name. Maikelele was born. He wasn't just a confident, flashy player on the server, he was also fun and flashy offline. And now with him joining multiple teams over the next couple months and playing more LANs, the people really started seeing the fun he was having, the passion he had, and the impact he had in games. And in 2014, the door was completely open for Maikelele to take over. The legendary Swedish opera Fifflaren announced his retirement in October 2014, and so NIP, the biggest Swedish team, the team that kept denying Mikael's road to success, was in need of a new player to rock the big green gun. And in a beautiful twist of fate, after eliminating him and his team twice, they looked at Maikelele. But in order to join, Maikelele had to be the dedicated opper in the team, something he hadn't fully committed himself to yet, but pick up the op, he did.
To the bomb site, looking for those shots, the jump shot there, onto AKA Maikelele with a second onto Spaz. 2 more players remaining. So Maikelele is going to find another one, a headshot as well to boot. Last player spotted, Maikelele. Can he get it with the grenade? Yes, he can! And that's going to be the defuse as well. NIP close out map number 1.
During his time in NIP, he surely found his way to stand out. Many people had his eyes on him, and he gained many dedicated fans.
Fox, and this should be a simple haul for things that could be going their way to finish off the round. Lucky on timing there, he looked to...
With the Ninjas, he reached the DreamHack Winter and the MLG Aspen finals, but fell just shy of the big golden trophy. Many stood by Mikael, since he brought personality and fun to the stage. But only a couple months later, disaster struck. It seemed like Maikelele's time in the spotlight was over, and everyone was eager to see what he was up to next. Enter the first international super team. Up until this point, all Counter-Strike teams were from the same region. No one had dared to make an international team because of obvious cultural and language barriers. So Maikelele took Scream aside and created a team of incredibly skilled misfits. Joined by Skitten, Rain, and Fox, he created what no esports org had ever dared to do. And to do that, he had to hang up the op. But to be honest, he wasn't too bad of a rifler either.
And Fox both very capable. And what is this aggressive play? The spray down at range, and Maikelele sprays down 2 players.
They also know where Maikelele is. They're going to have to try and go for him here. That Molotov still burning inside. Maikelele wins the first fight against Zeus. They don't have a kit. They might not have time. Maikelele goes for it. He wins the one, but he sprays him down. Maikelele picking up a triple kill.
Many critics laughed, since a team like this could never work. Right?
Take it easy, guys. What the fuck? You know who I am? What the fuck?
Against all odds, Kingwin actually managed to pick up some momentum and ended up in the quarterfinals of the ESL Cologne 2015 tournament, a feat no other international team had ever done. Compete on the highest level. Something only subscribers of the Decoy Strats YouTube channel could ever do. Sorry, let's keep going. As Kingwin transitioned into G2 and the roster went through many changes, Maikelele stayed put as a confident yet somewhat inconsistent permanent asset to the team. In 2015, G2 and Mikael managed to snipe a 4th place spot. But unfortunately, that was the last good performance the team would have even after being acquired by FaZe, which was one of the biggest Counter-Strike deals in history. As the international team's time in the spotlight faded, so did Maikelele's consistency.
Bomb down A main, flash in, check up in the corner, Smith's fully blind. You've got to land the spray, Michael! You've got to land the spray, Michael!
And eventually, he had to let go. Funnily enough, in 2016, he had a brief stint as a stand-in for NIP and beat G2 in the finals for the Star Ladder League. But after that, there was a lot of searching for a new home. Maikelele once called himself the nomad of CSGO, since he was always helping teams not really finding the team he belonged to. Whether it was inconsistency or his vibrant, passionate character clashing with management in big teams, we never really got an answer. But eventually, after a couple months with teams like No Chance and the all-star Swedish team Godsent, he retired in 2020. So even though he had some explosive years in the spotlights, he could never lift the biggest trophy. However, he's definitely won the hearts of many during his time there. Now Maikelele seems to work for the Ulti agency, perhaps helping younger players navigate themselves in the esports landscape.
Maybe someday kids are gonna say, hey, I wanna create my own team. I'm gonna create the best team in the world. I'm gonna do the same as Maikelele.
He's also still active on socials and is still actively playing Counter-Strike. He live streams on Kick and is still involved with the community. And even though we might not see him on screen anymore, his memorable moments and personality will always be remembered. He was the rebel, the misfit, but hopefully, he's now found his home.